Hi, I'm Maureen, and I am the author and the creator and co-founder of I Am Woman. My sisters Frankie and Tommy Leal are also co-founders along with me, and we have a team full of people that help women who have been in at-risk situations of abuse and violence. And we have a classroom setting program that helps women realize their worth and value. Woman is actually an acronym for worthy of majesty and nobility. What happens is that once someone, not just necessarily women, but people who have been in situations of abuse and violence, you begin to lose yourself and you don't realize that you don't even recognize your worth and value. So today I'm going to read a poem to you, and I'm also going to give you a little bit of insight, as I did the previous video, as to where I was when I wrote it and what inspired me to write. Okay, the name of the poem is Dancing into Me. At a distance far away, in a dim-lit forest, I watch myself in motion with the intent that God has promised. I see a form of a dancer, so graceful are her movements. Grace, love, and joy is what she represents. Flowing with the movement and moving to one beat, knowing that the ground and her feet will never meet. The attire of the form is a transparent dress, can only be expressed as wonderfully picturesque. My eyes won't wander away, but I'm locked in what I see. Can this actually be happening? Is this what's meant to be? Intently I do watch from behind the wooded pillar, even though I know nothing seems familiar. Somehow along the journey, I lost myself in ways, but watching from a distance, God is removing all the haze. Soon the pillars are falling, one by one removed. I find myself gravitating to the one that God has approved. Now the open plain, once wooded for security, has cleared away the pain and allows for possibility. I am dancing into me as I leave it all behind. I am now free to live the life that my Creator has designed. That's Dancing into Me, the poem that I wrote. But as I wrote that poem, the reason why I wrote it was as I walked through my own journey, I developed coping skills that would protect me from hurt, suffering, and pain. Some of these protective skills kept me from enjoying life, as I know they have kept you from enjoying life. I developed ways of separating myself from people, distancing from anyone that might hurt me. Even if they didn't have intentions of hurting me, I still separated myself for fear that they would, try to harm me in some way. In my mind, I felt like that was the best way to avoid pain and hurt. Even family was a risk. So I became more of a loner, detached from society and even friends and my family. Even though I knew I was a different person inside and wanted to enjoy others, I kept the walls up. I watched myself in the dim-lit forest because I recognized the person that I knew I really was. The wooded forest was representative of the walls and protection. There was no open plain or range that I couldn't hide behind. As I watched, I saw the form of a dancer who signified freedom, wearing a transparent dress, who happened to be the real me, with nothing holding me back. All of a sudden, as I am being healed, delivered, and set free, I watch the trees, which are the wooded pillars, start to fall one by one, leaving me exposed and feeling vulnerable. But something is taking place. I realize I am the dancer, and I am free to dance and have freedom. I began to gravitate towards the one I am familiar with and the one that God intended me to be. I am dancing into me. As we join together, a part of me is free, and the other part I have found and learned the balance of how to protect myself when necessary and release and let go when no harm is intended as I am dancing into me. So the poem is just representative of my life in what I was feeling and my emotions, and how I used walls of protection, which I explained before happened to be the wooded pillars. But as I began to understand that I am free and that I don't have to hide, that those wooded pillars started to fall, which happened to be the trees. And when they fell, I became more vulnerable, but I also was able to allow myself to not just be vulnerable, but to release and let go. So what I've done is I've decided that I know that I'm healed, delivered, and set free. I know that God has